ask kind of a broad question, but
Sure.
I know the US-Mexico rivalry means different things to different people. How would you classify its significance to you?
Clásico. I think it's a derby. It's a rivalry. It's, to me, it's, you can sit here and you can say Brazil, Argentina. You can go all these different, just I guess national teams rivalries, what they mean to each other. But in this region, there's nothing bigger.
Yes,
it's plain and simple. There are no two bigger teams. There are no two teams with more pressure on them. There are no two bigger draws. It is what it is, and since the early 2000s, the tides have turned, and Mexico see us as a huge threat.
Is there a single memory that stands out to you in terms of its significance to you personally?
Yeah, personally, because I grew up in a multicultural home. I'm a Chicano Mexican immigrant parents, and to see them be El Tri fans, and to me myself be born in the States, educated and taught the game here, and for my favorite players growing up to be like Cuauhtemoc, Luis Garcia, Kobe Jones, Eric Ronaldo, I've got a different appreciation for it, but I recall vividly 2002, that second round game in the World Cup. Landon scores a 2-0, and I remember the look on my father's face when that happened, and it was one I'd never forget. You literally could see the look like, oh, something's happening, like this is not going to be end well for us, and I'd never forget it. Ever since that moment, my dream was to play in one of those games, was to be part of the national team. Landon and I are a month apart, and I saw him in the world's largest stage and the biggest stage against a heated rival, and to do that, it made it tangible.
For sure, and obviously you have a respect for both teams,
Yeah.
but did you lean one way or the other, rooting interest when you're watching that game in 2002, for example? Did you find yourself?
Absolutely. There's a reason I played with the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
I applied my trade down there, and my allegiances are known. I'm very grateful for everything Mexico has given me. It changed my life, honestly. Financially, emotionally, every love. I met my wife down there. It's something I'll forever be grateful for, but it's very simple for me. It's a personal decision. It's who you are. I was born here, raised here, taught the way I learned the game, my values. They're more of what's going on here. But I'm still a very respectful and big fan of what they've done in their history.
For sure, and I was trying to go back through your game log and figure out which games exactly, but you played in a couple of these games.
Yeah, undefeated.
How many were there?
2. I was part of that 1-0 historic win at the Azteca.
Yeah.
And I was also part of that point that we took from them at the Azteca as well for the World Cup qualifier. Both games starts. Both games meant a lot to me. At the time I was playing with Santos, and I had ex-teammates of the Mexican national team there. So I felt it differently than most.
Yeah.
I lived it differently than most, and to me it was something special, and undefeated.
Sure.
Hey, Herc, a couple weeks before the next game, how does one keep sharp during this break before you guys get back on the pitch?
Yeah,
Game-wise,
I guess in a sense it's, you don't want to stop the momentum, You can look at it that way, but we're a little banged up, so we'll take this. We've got guys that are nursing injuries that can really help us. We got guys who picked up a few knocks who may need this time off. So it's a very welcomed a break, but you can't cut corners. You can't stop doing what you've been doing. It needs to be the same. The intensity needs to be there. The focus needs to be there. Listen, this is great. We put ourselves in a very good position, but we're not done yet. And what we have done doesn't mean anything if we can't win in advance and go to the Cup.
Well, it's important to respect the opponent, obviously. How important is it more for you guys to continue to do what you're doing and play the style that got you here?
Yeah, I think I can't even pinpoint the style. I think it's just get it done. And that's been the belief, that's been the motto, and that's what's been going on. And I think it has to be business as usual for us. I know it's cliche, and you guys sit here and ask me the same thing every week, and I will say the same thing every week, but it's the truth. Things like this have to be routine, it has to be muscle memory. You can't go in it lax. You can't all of a sudden think you've done enough, and if it ended right now, that'd be great. That's not how it works here. The great teams, they don't think like that. we have to take what's given to us, and we have to do what it takes.
Volviendo al partido de México contra Estados Unidos, ¿quién piensas que es el equipo que está obligado a ganar? Alguna gente dice que es Estados Unidos porque está en casa, otros dicen que es México porque tiene los mejores jugadores en papel individualmente.
Hay que decir que saca un empate o pierde México o pierde Estados Unidos obligado, no es el Estados Unidos, Jürgen todavía va a tener trabajo. Pierde Juan Carlos Osorio y creo que siente un poco más presión entrando a Panamá, está obligado aún más a sacar un resultado porque creo que la gente mexicana, la prensa mexicana ya está buscando razones para sustituir al señor, que para mí es lamentable. Ha hecho un gran trabajo, pero obligado por ser local, uno no puede perder puntos. En esta zona es asegurar puntos de local y robar de visitante. Entonces, obligados, yo me digo que Estados Unidos está obligado a conseguir un buen resultado. No sé si México tan obligado o si Juan Carlos Osorio obligado, pero es un poco distinto eso.
Hablando un poco de Juan Carlos Osorio, es un técnico que hace muchas rotaciones, ha sido criticado constantemente por esa razón. ¿Qué piensas tú de lo que ha hecho Osorio y de un técnico que hace rotaciones todo el tiempo?
Bueno, para empezar, mis respetos para el señor, es un caballero, es un maestro. Para mí, tácticamente, alguien que piensa muy bien y ve muy bien el fútbol, entonces mis respetos, lo admiro mucho. Pero está en una zona, está en una plaza donde el mismo presidente de la República no tiene la presión que tiene Juan Carlos Osorio. Y te lo digo con todo respeto, es mi opinión humilde. Y yo creo que él está sintiendo esa presión. Esas rotaciones pueden funcionar tal vez a nivel club, porque juegas, si estás en un equipo europeo grande, 60 plus juegos al año, entonces se requieren. Pero cuando tienes 3, 4, 5 días con un plantel máximo, tienes que tenerlo bien clavado, bien en mente lo que es la idea, y a veces es repetición, es jugar con tu compañero porque no juegas con ellos día tras día como en un club, y puede impactar las rotaciones en ese sentido. Pero por algo lo hace el señor, por algo es DT y él tiene mucha experiencia que nosotros en ese sentido. Uno más puede opinar desde afuera, pero desde mi punto de vista no es algo que es bien recibido en México, pero él tendrá sus razones.
Y aquí para terminar, obviamente tú siendo parte en algún momento de la selección estadounidense, te vas un poco para el lado de Estados Unidos. ¿Cuál es la clave para que Estados Unidos saque el buen resultado aquí en casa contra un equipo como México?
Jugar compactos. Yo creo que el equipo mexicano tiene jugadores desequilibrantes en el mano a mano, y para mi gusto, un jugador que te puede ganar el mano a mano rompe esquemas, cambia tácticamente el sentido o la idea de un equipo. Entonces, si puede ser eso, pues es muy complicado. Entonces no se pueden dejar llevar por el mano a mano. México tiene muchos jugadores veloces por las bandas, jugadores que te pueden hacer mucho daño. Tienen que doblar esos jugadores, tener la idea de que si pasan uno, no pasa el segundo. Tener la idea de jugar fácil, no complicarse y saber que la historia juega parte en esto. Yo sé que la gente está pensando que 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, está pensando eso. Los mexicanos saben la historia de eso. De repente llega un momento en el juego que puede caer el primer gol y sientes esa presión, esa parálisis emocional que de repente le puede tocar a un equipo, un rival. También juega.
Gracias.
Real quick, you did it. What is it like being an international, playing in your opposing country's league? Someone like Omar Gonzalez playing for Pachuca and Gio playing for the LA Galaxy.
I think probably guys like Omar, myself, had a little bit more pressure than maybe Gio does. Him being in LA and having the amount of Chicanos and Mexican American, and just Mexicans in general there. But it gets to a point where you get to a new team and they know your background, they know who you are, and you almost feel like an outsider, outside looking in, and you have to prove yourself. But once you prove yourself, don't get me wrong, you're still a gringo, but you're there gringo. And it rolls around where this game comes around, and it's a little different feeling. You're on your toes. You're almost walking on eggshells because you don't want to say the wrong thing, especially in a place like Mexico where the press twists and turns and really looks for those headlines. You have to be mindful of that stuff. But once the whistle blows, no matter where you are, whether here or you're over there at the Azteca, whether it's your teammate from club or whether some guy you really hate, it's got to be, every ball. it can't be life or death. It has to be mindful of what it can do for you. So you go in extra hard for that ball. You're extra mindful of what could happen if you slip or lose that ball. You know, it's extra attention to detail.